Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Plato once said, necessity is the mother of invention. And in my case, necessity is usually why I buy new technology. It drives my wife crazy, but you guys get good content from it. So today I wanted to visit why I started looking for the ultimate cheap stream stick once again. We'll start with my Roku stream stick, which all of a sudden just started dropping network here and there and won't let me log into apps. Then we'll go back to something I covered a while back, the NVIDIA Shield. Just stopped getting power. Currently, we actually have the AT&T TV stream box, which is flaky at times, and good old reliable, the Amazon Fire. Well, this thing, it's a love-hate relationship. It works good sometimes, and then other times it just spazzes out. In comes a new contender, the ONN Android TV from Walmart. This thing actually surprised me. Word of caution, the one drawback to it before we even get started is that it does not support HDR. But if you're looking at something sub $20 that can stream all of your video content to you, I don't think you can beat this. So let's go ahead and unbox it and jump in. Okay, so before we start, I know that there are other devices, including some that I just named, that may do HDR and have a few features that this doesn't. But let's be honest, some people don't even know what HDR stands for or know the difference when they see it. So some of the advanced features really don't matter. My kid doesn't care about HDR, she only cares about me canceling Netflix, which by the way is a true story. Keeping that in mind, I wanted to do an honest, objective review of why I think this is an impressive piece of tech for the average streamer. Let's start with its size. At almost 2 3/4 inches square, it's about middle of the pack. It's smaller than most of the other devices I listed earlier, making it an easy piece of tech to travel with. Some of you who watch the channel know that I travel for work infrequently. I can pop this in my already full work bag and deploy it at the hotel or on a monitor at my destination. Couple this with being based on what appears to be vanilla Android TV means I can pair this with my Sony XM4s and enjoy movies at cinema quality without disturbing others. Its interface is Android TV, which means it's easy to sideload apps, regularly gets the Android TV updates, and will sync quite easily with your Google ecosystem if you have one. With Chromecast built in, it's basically the same as my NVIDIA Shield, which means I can connect my Shield controller and casually game on it as well. A lot of the features and feel look exactly like my Shield. Well, before I decided to go to that big e-waste pile in the sky. Okay, so setting up the ONN is pretty straightforward, even for someone without a lot of experience. There are only 2 ports on here as shown, so it's kind of hard to mess that up. I even put a time code at the bottom of the clip so you all can keep up with setup from powering on the device to the first required update. You plug the included power cord into the micro USB port and the included HDMI cable into the HDMI port. FYI, this does require 5 volts and 1 amp, which is pretty straightforward. However, some USB ports on older TVs may only support 500 milliamps, so just verify before you try to power this up from the TV. As you can see, the boot up sequence is pretty straightforward and doesn't take long. So now we are presented with the graphic showing how to set up the remote control, but in my experience of setting up multiples of these, the remote finds it before I can even do this part. Next, you're presented with a quick setup option, which uses the Google Home app on your phone to configure your ONN based on the settings from your phone. Again, this popped up on my home screen, as you can see here. Next, your phone and ONN will provide a sync verification code. You just hit next on that. Once you hit select, you're presented with a list of Wi-Fi SSIDs to select from that are already saved in your phone. I'll select the one I created just for YouTube videos, and then we'll go to the next screen that allows you to choose the Google account you want to sync the ONN with. This is mostly for setting up apps. It takes a couple of seconds and then you see it connected to the network you selected. And then it signs into the account you selected. From here, the phone returns to the home screen and you are done with the initial setup, all in under 2 minutes. I'm speeding up this portion of the install as it took longer than the initial setup, but all in, from the 2 minutes of setup, the device had another 6 minutes of updates and about a minute to update the remote. This has by far been one of the quickest setups I've done on device hardware itself in a long time. I'll still have to set up login on apps, but by comparison, after 30 minutes, I was ready to stream as opposed to still configuring a device after 30 minutes. So again, it's going to run through some of the boot sequences and cycles and then log back into the ONN, and you will be back at the base screen for the Android TV operating system. And again, I'm just speeding through some of this. This is just me setting up the remote, finding my manufacturer, testing out the buttons, which again, it works with HDMI CEC or with the device itself. You can program it either way. And then from here, here's the main interface, which you guys have seen before on the channel. Pretty buttery smooth for a device that's $20. So next we're going to go over some of the features and specs and how I would recommend using it and how I intend to use it for my personal needs. So for storage size, it has 8 gigs, of which the device shows 4, of which just over 3 are free. Which may not seem like a lot, but if you are only loading streaming apps to this, it's more than plenty. But it does support NTFS and exFAT protocols for storage with a bit of tinkering. So you can add external storage to it via adoptable storage protocols. You will need an OTA cable or hub with USB pass-through, since this guy only gives you 1 micro USB. The device as well as the controller are extremely light, which some have complained about being cheap build quality. Well, I mean, yeah, how do you think they got it under $20? But don't be fooled, the remote is awesome. You have a very similar layout to the Roku remote in some aspects. Both have mics with dedicated assistant buttons. However, the ONN is powered by Google Search and has a dedicated button for switching between inputs, which the Roku currently doesn't. But here's the kicker. A replacement Roku voice remote like this actually will cost you $20. So in my scenario, where I will travel with one of these, if I left it at a hotel, I could just purchase another device for the same cost as just the Roku remote. Since it's Android TV, you will also benefit from integrations with Google Home and home automation. I was able to tell my home assistant via voice command to turn on the TV without Logitech integration. And since that's going away, RIP Logitech Harmony, I will likely be relying more on the Google Home and Home Remote apps for device integrations and physical input devices. So to wrap things up, it's cheaper than dinner for 2 at Chick-fil-A, but feature-rich at its price point. Has assistant integration and therefore home automation capabilities. It's easy to set up and has expansion capabilities with a bit of tinkering. So for now, it suits my needs perfectly, but we will see what that long-term performance of it yields. All right, everybody, that's going to do it for this video. I should be dropping a few videos here very shortly on some follow-up videos and some stuff we're already covering, but I just wanted to give you guys a taste of what this guy could do, and it really surprised me, so I wanted to share it with you guys here on the channel. I'll be following up on the Unified Talk video and on the home remote video very soon. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this as always. If you did, make sure you like and subscribe and leave a comment, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Later.